I think I'm live. Good morning, art buddies, and welcome to Bricolage with Paint Girly. Today I'm going to be working with tea bags. Now, I've done this before. I'm going to show you. We've just got a few of us in here, so let's just give it a few. Let's give it a few for those who might be getting a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Good morning, Kellyanne. Good morning, Jacqueline, my two buddies. Now, I have a combo in here. I think I'm going to work mostly with this size tea bag today. Of course, most of us are familiar with tea bags, and they come. You think you could probably even get round ones now. I mean, I'm not an expert on tea. I just recently, for health issues, started to drink green tea, which is not really green, but anywho. But I purchased this box and I had a second box because, I don't do anything just, normal. I have to overdo. So I found two boxes of this size, 24 bags, family size. I'm sure you can get a cheaper thing at the dollar store. Lipton, I don't think is especially cheap. But I was saying to Jacqueline, I'm going to brew them, and these are probably stale because they've been sitting for so long in my drawer. I hate to waste the tea, but it's probably not any good. And it didn't occur to me till several moments later, probably a good half hour or more, that I could use the tea to dye paper. So that's in a jug in the fridge, and these are the tea bags opened up, all the tea removed, and that some of these are what I'm going to use today. But and when a couple more folks get in, just so everybody can see what I'm doing, I'll show you. I have a couple of samples. Oh, Jacqueline says she gets her tea bags at Aldi. Yeah, the price there is probably pretty good. But I've been harvesting tea bags for quite some time, and I have them in this little Christmas tub. These are regular size. So I would just, have my husband save them. He's a big iced tea drinker. And then I, pull them apart. Hey, Ange, good morning. And then make sure they're real dry. And then I just store them in a tub. And then when I want one or two or 25, I have them. Oh, look, here's some I didn't take apart. But you could also do this with coffee. They have those round coffee bags now. And I think that would be a lovely look too. You'd get a nice darker. And you can buy these online without the tea. You just buy the bag, and they're nice and pristine. If you want to paint on them, stamp on them, or whatever you might fancy doing with them. So that's my small stash. And this I can put off to the side. And let me just show you some that I have worked on in the past. See, these you can see the difference. These are the little regulars. I didn't pull them open yet. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So there's those. But this is some of what I've done in the past. Now, these are largely, I think, for Christmas. Oh, this one I put some Christmas paper and then a button on the string. Make sure you don't throw out your tags. They have a little tiny staple at the top. I undo that and save my tags. I like to reattach them, whether it's the string or, just gluing the tag onto the bag. You can use them, of course, in a variety of ways, and it doesn't have to be Christmas. You can, now this one here, let me just point out, I think this is a stamp, but this I think I just did with a Sharpie pen. This one I think needs some attention. I just put one little thing in there. See, I've got the bottom is open, so I could slip something else in there. Now I've not located all my Tim Holtz little bits, so I've created some other little bits to use today. And this, I just added an old button and just a piece of fabric on the string, stamped on the side here with an added piece of fabric. This is a brad, some lace. This is why we save all our little bits, right? For little tiny projects like this. And then these can slip in a pocket in a journal, or they can, go on a cluster, or just stick it down onto a page. Now, I entitled this stream, what did I call it? I always forget what I call them. Add rizz to your journals. Does everybody know what the rizz is? R-I-Z-Z? Because I didn't know. I had watched a learning video from YouTube quite a while ago. Yeah, you could hang these on your tree, a shaker peg for, you could certainly do that. It might show up a little bit more. They're rather delicate, but some of us have those little tiny trees, so that might be fun. I have tiny trees that stay out all year. And then don't forget your trim. You can use your trim. Kellyanne says she's never heard of rizz. Rizz is an internet slang term for charming. We think it's short for charisma, charizz. Oh man, that's got some rizz. That's a buzzword on the internet, supposedly. I'm usually behind the 8-ball. So, all right, here I did a little heart cutout. Just added it with my tiny attacher and then added a little red pearl flat back. This one's not so much Christmas, I don't think. Brooklyn B, hello, welcome in. Well, thank you very much. These are so fun to do, really, I can't tell you. And then you could also use, if you don't save these for some reason, or you don't care for that look, use some ribbon. Use maybe some floss or some, yarn bits, fibers that you have. You can really use anything. But see, look how many little bits of scrappos you can use. Look at, there's a little heart. You just glue them on. Use up those buttons and those little pieces of lace. Let's see, I think this is my last one. Oh, this I did a sticker. This is a sticker, a butterfly that I just folded in half and then put my thread through it. Stamps, little pieces of paper bits, little pieces of fiber that you stamp on. You could do, well, you'll get your own ideas. Once you get going, it's kind of like a snowball. And this is something else I think we're going to do today too, just to start off. This is, I don't know, it might have been a piece of napkin that I just used some golden matte medium on a tea bag. See, but that would look cute as part of a cluster or on the corner of a page to decorate a pocket. So there's just a few ideas. So I pulled out a couple of journals that I might like to add some of what we work on today to. So I'll pull those out in a little bit. So the first thing I want to do is use the golden matte medium and just glue something onto a couple of tea bags so they have a chance to dry, hopefully before the stream ends. So these are the larger bags that I had, soaked in hot water and steeped. And then I opened them up and took the tea out. I know some of you were saying, I hope you didn't throw that tea out. Well, I did. I know you can put it in your garden, but I didn't. I just didn't do it. So I didn't pull out any napkins, but I did print some things. Oh, let me show you this. I have just a little tray here that I put things in that I thought I might use today. So this has got some little bits in it, some fabric. I want to use this brush for my glue. I've got some, flowers, pre-made flowers, bits of paper, some washi tape, some little beads. I've got pins in here, lace, and some little bits of stuff, some little stamps. And then I took one of my digitals and messed around with those and made some little cutouts here. So let's see if maybe one of these bigger ones. Oh, she's cute. Let's use her. Let's see how she works. So we'll do that. Those might be a little large, but we'll see if we can make them work. Okay. So I've just got that off to the left. Those things are right there, easy for me to grab. So hopefully I don't have to get up 112 times to, get something to use. So ideally, this is what they're going to look like. Of course, you're not going to see, hey, Joyce, good morning. Well, you're not going to see the images, super clear, but I think that's part of it. So this is what all I'm going to do is put some golden matte medium on my prints. And because it's wet, and this is just a laser, probably I might have some of that pigment might move, but I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to place this on and try to straighten it out as best I can. And then I'm going to put this aside and let it dry. So in my little squeeze bottle here, I have some golden matte medium, and I do that because then I don't have to be dipping my brush or my finger or my whatever into my glue and then contaminating it, and sometimes it just causes wrinkles and bumps and like glue boogers, and just makes your product not nice. So if you put some in another container, either to dip in, if you're going to use a lot, you could just use up a little bit you put in a dish, or you put it in some kind of a vessel where you can squeeze it out. It's usually a little better. Now I've put out an awful lot of glue here. So I think that one of the easier things to do, since I was a little heavy on my squeeze. Well, thanks for those of, oh, what did I do? My chat is not here. Uh-oh. Okay, back up. All right, so if you need to ask me something, I have a question, put it in caps for me, please. And there are plenty of gals in chat that probably can answer a lot of questions that somebody might have. There's Gail. Good morning, Gail. Riri. Good morning. There's Riri. All right, so now some of this glue, I'm going to just put it here because I want to put some on the front of my tea bag as well. Now, don't forget, you can trim these down just like anything else. I have a hard time cutting things and resizing, but it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Okay. Now I'm just going to flip that over. Hi, Dar. Good morning. Now I'm going to take this excess. So for those of you that may just be coming in and settling in, I've taken a large family-sized tea bag, which of course I steeped in water, and I let it dry, took the tea out, and opened it up flat. That's what I'm using here. This is why it's so large, because it's a family size. This is a regular size tea bag. And this, folded. This is the family size. Now, some people paint on tea bags. I haven't really tried that, and I should. That would be fun. But you can buy these on the internet, with no tea. So you have a clean, non-fuss surface. So now we'll see how this looks when it dries up. So I put glue on my image. I put it face down on my tea bag. And then I added some additional matte medium on top of that. So now I'm going to put these aside and let these dry. So that's one thing you can do. I'm sure many of you have already done that. Now we're just going to sit that over there. Now I have my ceiling fan on. I'm thinking that should dry fairly quickly. Now what I did with some of the samples that I've shown you, I used them like this. So this is like a tube. I don't know if you've ever taken one apart. And a lot of times you can just slip something little in there. You just have to remember that when you bring it back up, this might be upside down. So you just have to make sure you slip it in there so it can be seen. Now in this little bin, I have some things we might be able to use. Let's see. I didn't root through here before I came on live. Now a lot of what I showed you was Christmas. I'm not thinking about Christmas per se. I'm just thinking about adding some rizz or charm to a journal. Oh, look, there's another tea bag. And oh, look, he's cute. He might fit in there. I like folding them back so they actually look like the tea bag, but you certainly don't have to do that. You could leave it long. You might want something on the edge of a page. You really can do whatever your little heart desires. Rejoice. That's kind of a Christmas word, but we're going to keep that out anyway. And, a lot of times in our stash, our bricolage, we have, I'm looking for that for my granddaughter's project. Where can I put that I don't? I'll put it on my sewing machine. All these little things are going to look cute. They don't have to be Christmas or seasonal. You can just do, everyday things that you think might look charming, or to give something a little rizz. There's Peggy. Good morning. She's saying hi from the car. Okay, how's your day look, Peggy? I'm wondering if I can get a time slot where it might be good for me to catch up with you by phone. Look, here's some just black circles that I had punched out for something else for before now. I'm just digging out some of this little bits, and we'll see what happens. This is just a little book with a little paper clip. And look at this. See, you can do all kinds of stuff. Now, this wouldn't be good for this project, but it's just a piece of cardstock, scrapbook paper. And I like that image, cut it out into a square, folded it, and then just added a little paper clip. And bing, bang, boom, you got a cute little tuck in, right? Okay, and we could use these frame. Look, this I already grunged up and stamped on a little bit. I might be able to use that on a bigger piece of tea bag. See, some of this stuff, I have no idea where this came from. None. Boop, blank. Got a lot of bug stuff in there. Oh, that's cute. That's a sticker. I did pull out some of my flowers, cut out flowers like this. Lori, see the question. Could you put a piece of saran between the picture and the tea bag and iron them together, or this? Oh, you know what? You could try it, Kel. I don't know why it wouldn't. I mean, they stand up to a lot of heat in water. So I'm thinking, yes, you could, but I have not tried it. That's certainly something we could try, or you could try, or maybe we'll try it. I don't know. I think it would work. Okay, not being able to pick that up. Oh, geez, look at, I got all kinds of stuff laying everywhere. Look at that little flare. Look at the little flare. Oh, this is a little book I made with those slide projector little film bits. You just hook two of them together and then just start gluing stuff down. So many things you can do, right? So let's try to stay focused, Lori. Let's try to stay focused. All right, so this one, you can see anytime I just pulled into the driveway. Okay, so after stream, I'll try to get a hold of it. Thanks, Peggy. Okay, so you can see where I have the top of the tea bag originally as it was. Here's the fold line. Now, did I pull out my tiny attacher? That's a good question. Where do I have that? Oh, I forgot I'm going to be needing that. The tiny attacher. Doot, 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 doot. I did have it in with my scissors. Oh, Phil, I wonder if that's in on the kitchen counter. It's always something with me. Always something. Always forgetting something. I'm sitting here waiting for the clock to tick down, and then I went and ironed a piece of fabric real quick. Okay, Gail. Yeah, got to take care of those. Yeah. Got to get those away. Oh, goodness. This is when I say, really, Lori? Well, I could use glue, but I like that tiny attacher because it makes it look like the original. All right, I'm just going to go look on my kitchen counter real quick just to see if I had it there. I know it's probably sitting right under my nose. Well, I don't see it. Oh, I apologize. And life goes on. And just crafting. That's good. Probably a few of you are crafting. I like to keep my hands busy while I'm enjoying a stream or a video. All right, so a lot of times with these little tea bags, I don't necessarily take them apart. I try to maybe slide things in. So I did cut out a few little floral things. Boy, that's cute. Let's give this a little trim. Now you could measure, right? You could measure and make it all nice, and everything works together great, but you know, I don't like to measure. I like to just eyeball it. Now this one side of this one seems to have, there we go. Oh, look. Now don't forget you can use the inside and you can use the outside of your tea bag. This is snug. Snug as a bug in a rug. Going to take, now I don't want it too super small because I don't want it to wiggle when it's in there. So that may not bother you, but then I get crazy about trying to get something to look straight. And that's just why you open it up. I haven't made one of these in a while. It's all coming back to me. Now, don't forget these are porous, so I put, see, I'm not wanting that seam there, so I'm going to fold it probably opposite of how it was originally. So now when I put something in the back, now you don't have to do the back if you don't want to, but I'm thinking I will do the back as well. So I want to make sure I put whatever I put in there going the right way because it's going to flip up. So I'm going to pop this little butterfly in there. See, he's a little crooked. So then when I work on it, it's going to be upside down, inside out. Okay? You with me? You hanging in there with me? Now I should have gotten another piece of my acetate. Let's see how this is doing. Maybe I can steal this. Yeah, that's starting to dry already. Let's get that. And I'm going to put these, maybe I'll put these right there. Now this is a silicone mat. Nothing's really going to hurt that except that then I have to clean it up. So that's my hesitation there. I've got my little glass tray here that I'm going to just put a little bit of matte medium there. So it's easy for me to dip my brush. And if you have an old paint brush, you could use a paint sponge, you know. But I'm going to go ahead and put some medium on this. I could probably dry that real quick. Let me get my heat tool. Makes it a little brighter. You just want it so it's not going to be too sticky there on the front side. Now I'm going to open this up. And this is not cut straight, so let me straighten that out. Because I'm very particular at times. Now I could ink these too. I'm sure it would make a little bit of a difference. But I don't want you to know how crazy I am. I don't want to let that cat totally out of the bag. So I'm going to just press that down a little bit. I'm adding some of my matte medium here to be a little gentler than I am. And then just fold over my tea bag. Whoop, whoop. Now, if you know you're going to glue this down wherever you're going to put it, you may not want to do both sides. You know, that makes sense to me. But I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use this. So I'm doing both. I'm thinking about, doing both sides so it looks cute. Angie's is she going to Walmart? I had to stop or shop in car going to Walmart. Going to the Walmart. Okay, so this is what we have so far. 2 images. It's going to be folded back this way when I make it look like, an original tea bag. So now I might want to think about decorating on top of this. So this is where our little bits come in. And you might want to have whatever you're using as the front of the tea bag a little more decorative heavy, if you will. So I'm going to focus on these purple flowers. I forget what they're called. And I've got some of these little bits out here. Ooh. So over here in my little tray, I've got bits of fabric. See, I love this kind of stuff, just coffee stained pieces of muslin I could use all day. I mean, I just love that jazz. I mean, how cute does that look? Just, of course you could staple that. Yes, you could do that, or you could do a little piece of batting, that you could put a little, hey, Candy, good morning. You could put a little essential oil on, and stick that in there, especially if you're doing like a Christmas thing. You can put, the Christmas tree or balsam, fragrance or pine. Yeah, that's a good idea, Cal. Just one thing you want to keep in mind. I mean, most of us, I think, that do journals don't care about a little bit of alligator mouth, But you just keep in mind, the more you put on here or the puffier you make it, it's going to add to the puffiness of your journal or whatever you're working on, So I think I'm going to cut this again. It's a little too large. Now, certainly you could put all this stuff inside the tea bag. No, it's really not. Actually, it's a little better because we had a storm last night, Candy. Candy's asking how my humidity is. Last night, my husband took the dog out for the last time before she went to her crate for her bedtime snooze. He said it was like 100% humidity. I mean, it just is like thick soup here. It's still overcast and gray. I think we're going to get more storms today. Um, but all the rain and the thunder and lightning, all that, it didn't really take a lot of it away. It's a little better today, but I think it's probably the same as what you're experiencing. And so some of us, I think, just walk around like, you feel like you have your head's like in a cloud. So, you just decorate according to what you might like. So I'm kind of liking this little 65 thing here. Whatever you think would be rizz or charming. There's a little bit of that's a little too bright. I might have to ink on that. I might have to ink on it. Ink on it or think on it. Look at this yummy stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. This might even be cute on this side. This is why I've got my husband trained now before he throws anything out. You want this little piece of? I'm like, yes. Now, I also have to use a bag of scraps from when you take a book, when you disassemble a hardback book to use for a journal. And on that back book block, there's usually always some kind of netting or cheesecloth or some kind of, I have a bag of those bits. Staple. See, look at that. Isn't that yummy? See, we're going to use some of that. All right, so first things first, you have to try to stay focused. I'm so ADD. So now I'm going to switch over to my Fabrifix because I like it. I have it. I can use it. And especially for when you're doing a live stream, it really helps to stick your objects down, fairly quickly. And you might want some of this to hang off the edge. That's okay too. I really wish I could locate my tiny attacher. It's so much easier to use that. I know I used it yesterday. I don't think I took it out to my chair. Whoops, wrong glue. Hello. You could use hot glue. You use any glue of your choice. White glue, if you have the time, that's fine. It just, for me, that takes a little longer to kind of stay where you want it. So then when I get that to where I think it looks cute, I just flip it over. So then I'm looking at this right side up. And I could add that. The problem is some of my it kind of takes up most of. And your words don't always have to be, the way we read them. They can go other directions. Now, this stuff on the outside, you definitely might want to ink because it's not being muted by the tea bag, So let me grab a little, if I can get my fingers to work here. Grab my vintage photo. And see, do I have a little, I have a little finger dauber. in one of my little bins here. He might have jumped ship. There he is. Yeah, he jumped ship. Oh, that is rude. All right. I'm going to add a little ink to the edge of this little word. I'm going to put that down the side. See, to me, it just doesn't take much. Now, some of you might say, and I'm thinking of one person in particular, I don't know, she might be listening. I'm thinking about Jazzy, because sometimes Jazzy will say, I don't know, my stuff just doesn't look that good. But you just keep layering. And I guarantee you, Jazzy in particular, it looks better than you think it does. And just keep adding stuff, you know? And then at some point you're going to say, oh yeah, that looks okay. That looks cute. So then you just fold it back together and you put your little corners down like this. I don't know if that folds that way. You can do whatever you want. That's when I would put my string and use my tiny attacher. Oh, Lord, I want my tiny attacher. Now your mouse won't. Oh. Must be the barometric pressure. What the heck did I do with this silly thing? I really, really want it. Really, really want it. See, this is why I like to have two of everything, huh? Oh, I was so good yesterday. I was putting everything right back to where it belonged. I know it's sitting right in front of me somewhere. Did something in here? Oh, jeez, I just glued my arm. No. I'm trying to think what I used. Oh, that's a good idea, Brooklyn. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and glue this in those two little spots so we can move on. So you're just refolding like the tea bag originally was. Because, I mean, it just stays there, really. It doesn't really... It's not like you ironed or pressed out the lines, you know. It's easy. And you can fold it any way you want, quite frankly. I think I will wait for my tiny attacher, though. Now, come on, that's adorable, right? You could really stamp on there or add anything else. Oh, you know what I have? That's really cute. Wait a minute, where did I put those? I picked these up at a sale. These are kind of big. Ruffled ribbon rose. See, most of us have all this jazz in our stash, right? It's like, oh, you see it and you think it's cute, and then you're like, what the heck am I ever going to use that for? Well, I like the idea. I'm not sure if I like that one. Let's just see. Now, these I picked up from Debbie Epps. Now, of course, this is going to add some bulk to the page or to the book. Could just use a leaf or some baby, kind of baby's breath on this stuff. Some of these might be a little too large. Here's a single leaf. Let's see what that looks like. I've got ribbon roses too. Of course I do, but they're up in a jar. I'm not sure I can reach those. I usually have to get the tall one to help me. I kind of like that. I'm thinking this is a little too much. Then the other thing is, if you run across something in your stash, you can always add to these, right? Just because it doesn't have to be done. Oh, you orange? Okay, so let's just say this is what I did for this one. And I've got a couple of journals here. Now, this is one I need to decorate pages, okay? So I haven't started yet. But, I mean, certainly I could attach it here. No, this is a heavier page. This is a pocket page. But see, you want to leave some room, of course, for writing. Oh, you do? Oh, Candy says she has a book. I have a book, 365 tea bags. See, now this would look cute. Of course, you're not going to see both sides if I do that. So I could create a pocket to put it in there. Or I can merely just attach it with a paper clip. So maybe that's what I'll do until I find my tiny attacher to go ahead and put that permanently on a page. Now, somewhere, Miss Laurie has a regular paper clip. But for right now, let me see if I can just find a little. You could attach it with a brad. That's an idea too, right? Attach it with a brad. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Of course, you never can find what you're looking for when you're looking for it. I just want a tiny. This is too big. They're all too big. Too big, too big. I've got my paper clip jar right here. And then you can put a flag or something on this paper clip to make it look even better. And then the tea bag could be removed. Or go into my sister's house. She has a house in the Adirondacks. Now, that's too big. I wouldn't leave it that way, but for right now, it's going to hold it on that page. And then I'll come back and put the tea bag string on it. And then I can put a flag on that paper clip something fluffy that'll stick out the top. And then that might just stay the way it is. And then the owner can take that and do whatever they like with it, right? So that's one way to use it. So let's do another. That was the small regular size tea bag. Now this is the large family size one. Okay. she's cute. So I'm going to trim her down a bit. And then I kind of like this one. Now I got to unearth my, oh look, see what I just threw that on the glue. Oh, that's not good. How many people saw me do that? Everybody? So I'm going to go ahead and glue this little gal down. Now, the ones that I showed you earlier were mostly Christmas. But this, what I'm trying to do today, is just create a little rizz to add to journals, a journal page or a journal book. I should have put my glue brush in water. It's a little stiff, so remember to do that. Don't do what I do what I say. Oops, I want to go the other way. Almost made an ooby dooby. Now she's going to KFC. And going to KFC. Gonna have some chicken. I like their bowl. Okay, see now when I do this, see, when I fold this up, you can see the white. Finger looking good. That's right, Peggy. You can see the white from this. I don't like it. I do not like it. So I'm going to add a little bit of fabric. So make sure you look at what you're doing. You don't want to get it all finished and put together and say, oh man, I didn't see that, you know. So I'm just taking an old crappy scrap of fabric. And we'll see how that looks. Oh, yes. Well, you know, it's still kind of bright. It's not as well, yeah, it's still not very good, is it? So this piece of fabric's not going to work because it's kind of light and see-through. Let's see, I've got some of this leftover batik. That's a little better. So let's have a little snip of this. I'm just going to fold it there. Actually, it could be a little longer. I don't think you have to be this fussy, but you know, I have other people that will watch the stream, or for you guys, you know, you want your things to look nice. Now I'm just going to use the matte medium for this as well, because then I'm going to close this up. All right, I'm just going to do this. So I'm going to get a, oops. It's always good to take the cap off when you want to use some glue. Just a heads up, that's a free tip for those of you who might be watching. So I'm just adding some of my matte medium here. Glue this down so it stays shut. The same on this end. Now this is porous. Of course, it's a tea bag, you know. So your glue is going to go right through to your picture or your fabric, whatever you have underneath. I'm going to hit that with my heat tool a little bit. I know, right? I'm full of those. I should do a video. All right, so now I'm going to add some more. Now it looks like I pulled that in a little far. Just going to move that out a little bit, I think. I'm going to add some glue to the front. You could probably do a couple layers of glue depending on what kind of look you want your end result to have, or end project. Now, if you've got any of those little cutouts from anybody, you know, I think of Tim Holtz because I have a lot of his stuff. You know, but art by Marlene or Heidi Swap, any of those folks that develop those things that we all like to have and own and put in our journals, you can use any of those to fill in a tea bag. Some of them, when you take them out of the package, you might think, oh my gosh, this is so little. What will I ever use it for? Well, use it for this because you can stack them on top, you know, and layer stuff, and then they just look so adorable. So I'm not drying this totally. I'm just drying this a little bit so I can work with it and hopefully not have it stick to itself, you know. And you might have stickers you could use. Let's see. I have stickers. I have stickers. All kinds of stickers. Where are my new stickers? Ugh. We're asking quite a lot there. I have stickers in here. Oh, they would be cute, wouldn't they? Oh, look how cute that is. Let's see what. Now these are, once you pull the sticker, I think it's clear. The white backing is just, you know, the backing. It's not, let's put this in water before I forget again. Scissors back. Let's have a look at a couple of these. So that's cute. It's a little large. Let's get some. Now I can cut these. It's a little large. It's like sometimes you know it when you see it. And sometimes you just don't see it. That's a possibility. Oh, that's a possibility. Hmm. Hmm. I might like that and trim that off. Thank you. All right, let's get these scissors back. Glasses down. I'm just going to trim this a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now I got to try to get the backing off. That's always a good time. I won't give up. I won't give up. Oops. I kind of cut that a little bit. Oop. This isn't cooperating. Usually I don't have this much trouble sneaking my little blade in behind the sticker. But there's static electricity too, and sometimes it. Oh, I lied to you. I lied to you. It's the clear part. This is white. Oh, well, I don't like that so much, and I had it going the wrong way. Well, let's use it anyway. We'll use it anyway. I have some that are just the black. It doesn't have the white behind it. I guess I was thinking that's the one I pulled out. So I wonder if I can crunch that up a little bit, like knock that back, that white back a little bit. That I like that a little better. I'm going to give it a good press. Alrighty. So that's okay. And then let's grab some other fabric or something to add on. It's kind of large. Yeah, that's what I did. Same with this. This could be smudged. Smudged. Now this, I think I wanted to hang off the bottom of the tea bag, so I'm going to fold this like it's going to end up, right? So I want to get the placement correct and put that right at the bottom. I need this much. We're in El Smudgo mode. I'm going to put a bead of hot glue across the bottom. You know what I didn't pull out? I didn't pull out any cheesecloth. Oh dear. Let's see if I have some in here. I just found this tin at Five Below. It's long and narrow, which I love. This one's very deep. So I'm hoping I can find a piece of cheesecloth in here. La, 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 la. Oh, look at that piece. Isn't that pretty? Ooh. Let's get that out. All right. I think that'll look cute there. And then I'm thinking I need a button or something. Ouch. Oh, this one looks old. Oh, I love these kind that have a little bit of thread left in them. Don't you just love that? Don't take that out. Leave it in there, and then you can just glue it down. So I'm going to glue that on. I think that looks lovely. Smashing. Now I've got this side. Thanks, Kel. I don't know that this is going to need a whole lot. Sometimes you just have to fiddle around with what you have, laying around in your. Oh, that looks cute, I think. Let's do that. This is just some trim, and I coffee stained this. Not much, just a little something. This is what happens if you don't pay attention to your glue. I'm trying to get in the habit of when I use it to just tap it down a little bit to see if that will help it from, oozing out the top, because I waste so much glue doing that. I can't tell you how annoying that is to me. All right, so I'm going to put a little dot behind the center of each flower. Just because that kind of works in my brain. I'm trying to use as little as possible, but it's not always easy with this Fabri-Tac stuff. I can't wab it. I can't wab it. You crazy wabbit. I think this needs a word. Of course, it's got a word, a couple of words up there, but I think it needs other words. Okay, now somewhere around here I have a box that's got all my words in. Where'd I put it? I don't know. I could stamp something, I guess. I think for now we'll just leave it. Leave it be, leave it be. So again, I'm going to come here and fold. I'm just following the lines that were with the original tea bag. Now I might want to put something here, to cover up those folds. I don't know. Wonder how it would look if I fold them opposite and have all the lines on the inside. What about that? It looks almost like a tag top, doesn't it? I don't know if I could punch a hole through that. Okay, I'm going to add some glue. And some more. Now, of course, this is a bigger tag. I like that pretty well. I like that pretty well. Now let's see where I can maybe use that. This is my not so everyday journal. So I just put a wide variety of stuff in here. Hey, Patty, how are you? Oh, I'm so glad you like it. So this is a book that it just a notebook that I took and treated the pages. I think I did them on my jelly plate for the most part to just give me a background, and then I'm not good at doing an everyday journal because I just am so ADD. I'm like all over the place most days. And so I just have one that doesn't put any pressure on me. So it's kind of like the same. I just do whatever. And then whatever I feel like it. So I like this tag. So I'm just going to find a place where I can attach it in here. Not a pocket. She might look cute there. If I attach it right there, then I could flip it up and see the back. Let's see what I have on the back. Maybe I could attach it with a brad. That might work. So let me find my pokey tool. A little pokey tool, yeah, dee 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 dee, da da doo doo doo. This is just for me. You do the pokey pokey, and you turn yourself around. Now, usually I have a little brad right here. I have magnets that hold things for me right here. Whoops! There's a little baby brad. Little tiny baby brad. Come on. Are you gonna? I guess that's not strong enough. Come on. I want the little one. It's a bigger tea bag, so I think I'm going to use the bigger brad. This is just a Tim Holtz one, I think. Ooh. Now, I didn't put the tea bag thing on this one either because I'm just so annoyed at myself for misplacing my tiny attacher. But I think I can wind. Okay, Gail, enjoy your day. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. It's always nice to see you. Have a great day. So, of course, it could ease up on that a little bit. Yeah, see, I'll be able to hide this, whatever I do on this page. So I like that. So that'll work for me. So that's another one. Alrighty. Now let's see how these are doing. These are still not quite dry. So let me hit them with my heat tool just a little bit. They're almost. There ain't no sun. Now this is what we started out with. I just took two images that I'd printed, a couple of digitals, and I just opened up my large tea bag and used golden matte medium to glue them down. I put some additional matte medium on the top. All right. So now I'm going to treat these as individuals. I'm going to trim this apart. So I have two. And I'm just going to tear the side edges here to make it just a little more. I guess I wonder if I could tear the top. Tear a little bit of the bottom. Now you may like the cut, the crisp, sharp line. That's fine. And you do that. Now I'm going to treat it like a cluster, like the base can make a cluster. Let's just work with this one. All right. So basically I will do kind of the same thing. Yes. Hi, Angela. How are you today? Are you doing better? All right, so this is, if you're not familiar with a cluster, you just take little bits of things that you enjoy, stack them up, glue them down, and then attach it to a journal page. At least that's a cluster to me. Put my magnet back. So I think I want to use that, but I don't need that much of it. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I just start fussing around with things, lay them down, pick them up, move them about. Look, this is a little tag shape. Oh, thanks, Angela. These are fun. I especially like doing these when I get out my Christmas bits. I should have gotten out more of that, that stuff I like that I never remember what it's called. Cheesecloth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wonder if look at this jean fabric. It's got an imprint on it. Isn't that cool? Yes, tea bags. This is a flattened out large tea bag. I think I'm more satisfied when I use different textures. I think I want a stamp on there. I wonder if I can find my little always. I like my little always stamp because it's small. But I can't always find it immediately. That'll work. That's a little numbers thing, I think. I try to keep the stamps that I use most regularly in my little drawer here to the left. What are these? These are just little, well, I think I like the number part better. want something darker, I think. Let's see how this looks. This will stamp on. Fabric. Corresponding order. Trying to. Hey, there's Laura. Hi, Laura. Okay, so that looks cool. I'm going to see if I can find another piece of cheesecloth. I just like the, I guess the unevenness and the fluff that cheesecloth creates in a look. It may not be for you, but I really, really, truly love my cheesecloth. And I have big wads of it. But I keep moving it. The last couple of days, I've really been trying to concentrate on putting things back in their rightful place. The problem is some things have a couple rightful places. Now this is a little long skinny strip, but I think it will work. Look, see when you pull it, it just keeps getting bigger. Sometimes a layer or two is fun. You will, Laura? Where will you be? Where will you be? I'm waiting with bated breath. Will you have any time, Laura, or will you are you booked? So that might look good there with maybe a button or something. Okay, so I'm going to use the hot glue gun. Avalon. Okay. Yeah, I can do. I think I can do that. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Because there's one thing in particular I really wanted to pick your brain about. I was going to send you a message. Oh, well, that's something we'll have to be praying about, Kel. Oh, Laura, that would be so cool. Okay, so I'm going to glue that. This is kind of a heavy piece of fabric for this, but I like the contrast, so I'm just going to do it. I'm just doing it, girl. I'm just doing it. Right? I can come to Cape May. I think Avalon's probably a little closer for me. Cape May's about 2 hours from me. My husband could drop me off and he could occupy himself while we maybe have lunch or do something. And then, he and I can reconnect and do whatever. Oh, that sounds so exciting. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. Now, because it's a tea bag and it's not actually a tea bag shape, I'm thinking maybe I'll put a little tea tag on here. Boop. How cute is that? Now, when I started doing this kind of art, my previous experience was using, a hot glue gun, particularly with making my light bulb ornaments. So I have it set up in my drawer here. I have a ceramic dish that my glue gun and my heat tool just sit in. And they sit down in the drawer. It's all protected. And then when I put my lights on, my glue gun goes on immediately. But it's safe. Now this is a big cluster. I get that. So I'm going to have to find a big spot for it. And actually, this could really be a little pocket, could it not? Right? Because that's a nice little back. All right, let's see. Laura's sharing with Kellen, saying that she had a situation where one of her medications weren't where so she asked for a transfer for 1 month. Oh, we were just told the medication I'm on, the supplier where we get, the pharmacy we get, their supplier's no longer carrying it. So we find ourselves in the same spot, kind of. We've got to find another pharmacy whose supplier carries my med. All right, now where to put this little thing that's not so little? All right, I have, and you probably are shocked to know this, several journals in progress. Peggy says usually pharmacy will tell you what location had your meds. Yeah, they're not helping us that way. They're kind of stumped themselves in our situation, but all right, so this is certainly wide open. I'm kind of liking this on this page. Wait a minute, I got glue here. I just don't want to stick. I'm thinking if I put this on this page, I could use it as a little pocket. I think that kind of goes with her. So I'm just going to do it. So to make a pocket, you just put glue on 3 sides. Oh, I just thought of something I forgot to tell my sisters. Oh boy, what a dope I am. All right. So now tell me, come on. This tea bag is certainly adding rizz to this page, huh? Charisma. And then I can use this as a pocket. All right. So that's that. Now, there was another thing I wanted to do while you were here is stamp on a tea bag. Now, you may not like the idea of fussing with all these little bits, okay? Rizz is an internet slang for charisma. Supposedly it's, a buzzword. Look, I have glue here and I keep shoving things over here. It's going to get stuck and I'm going to be annoyed. So what if I stamp? And then I was wondering how my distress crayons might look. on a tea bag. You know, might look cute. Might. So I'll just think of this as a little. Well, you know what? I could do this maybe. That might look cute, huh? I put an image in there. All right, so I was just gifted these. Haven't used these yet. I just pulled out a couple, and I'm thinking one of these might look cute. I think I like that one. Now I want to remember that I want to leave room to fold down my tea bag. This one I might just out and out glue down. So maybe there. And then I'm going to use this. Oh, that stamps very nicely. All right, so most of us have, you know, little stamps and an ink block. I could just do that. I could just do that. Now I have those Timmy distress crayons. Guess what, kids? My tiny attacher was in the drawer. It was in the drawer. So, oh gosh, I'm so excited. All right, so we have this stamped, and I've got several different colors. Of course, this is, you know, darker and grunged up. So, you know, I've got all different colors. You like the green. Or maybe a lag. I don't know. I don't know what green. So I'm just wondering how it would look with some of this, you know, scribbled around. Maybe I'll scribble it right around the flower. Maybe I'll make the center. Yeah, it was in my cabinet there. I just looked in the wrong drawer. Oh, silly me. I'm just fussing around here. Not sure this is going to work. Now I'm going to rinse out my paintbrush. Oh, look, I tore my tea bag. See, they can certainly tear. Look, I was a little heavy-handed. Now I don't want it to be terribly wet. Ooh. Hey, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Now, going forward, I probably would not go over the flower, but I'm going to see if I can go over that with my da 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 Sharpie pen. Do do do. Sharpie pen. I love you. Okay, here we go. Hey tool, hey tool. Oh, honey. I just sometimes, it's like it's just exciting to use some stuff you have in your stash that you don't always, mess around with. I think, at least for me, I don't know if all of you are the same way, but it's like you get in a rut. You use something, you really like it, you use it again, and then before you know it, you forget about the other stuff you have. Okay, now I'm just wondering. Yeah, you can't really see that. All right, I got to put my glasses down. Now let's just see if I can. I can see it a little bit. Maybe if I put a piece of white paper underneath, I could see it more better. Maybe a little. All right, I'm going to see. Now, what I might do next time is color the area and then stamp on top. Oh, that might be a better idea. All right, so this isn't looking great, but hey, it's art, right? So it can be however I make it. So it's okay. It's just okay. Now I'm thinking about gluing this one down and making this, um, you know, just looking like a regular tea bag, you know. So then I'm gonna fold this. Oh, look how funny! It went right through onto the paper because the tea bag's porous, porous. So I'm gonna fold this back up. So you don't have to have stuff to put inside, You can just use the tea bag and use what you have. This gets folded back. This gets folded back, and then I think it might get folded down, but you can do what you want. Crooked. I still have that a little crooked. Now I think this still needs a little something something. So Laura said, so get this, my son and Romeo went and took their little boat on the Delaware, which they do frequently in the summer. And when they were coming out of the water, there were 1 billion police. Turns out that Cole told me that they found a dead body in the water. And the cop was like, you want to get out of there quickly, to Romeo so your son doesn't see it. Oh, dear Lord. They did pick up quickly enough. They ended up seeing the body bag being brought Oh, Romeo is really out of, so I guess Cole isn't out of bed, of course, but I'm a little worried. Yeah, maybe if he wants to talk about it, that'll be good, huh? Oh, jeez. Now I could put this on top. I mean, I guess that could look cute, huh? And then decorate around it. Let's do that. Gosh, you just never know what a day will bring, huh? He's 15 and a half. I just can't even. Yeah, yeah. And he always has seemed pretty level headed, Laura. Better that way than being in the boat and seeing it. Oh, geez. Can you imagine? Always could be worse, I guess, right? All right, so I'm going to put this little frame over top. And then I'm going to decorate a little bit. And I will still have a little piece of this left. That might look cute on there. I have a little tag. That kind of looks cute on the tags. I'm just layering stuff up, right? I should have inked this flower. I could let that dry and ink that a little bit. Hold on. Got to get my lid. Got to get my lid. So what's today? The 10th. So the 13th. What day? Okay, so today is Thursday, the 10th. The 11th is Friday. Saturday is the 12th. Sunday is the 13th, right? So I won't be streaming Sunday. We're headed up to the Adirondacks to have a little visit with my sister and brother-in-law. We'll be going for a few days. I may pop on. Yes, you are, but he's also had a good home and people that love him. That just adds to his ability to be able to handle things, you know? Oh, we will. I think we will, Peggy. We're going to take the pooch, the little pooch. So that's always, helps us relax a little bit. And hanging out with my sister is always a joy for me. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to add this. I don't think I want a gap with the bottom of the frame and the lace. I guess I could put it way down there, but I'm thinking I want it up here. So I'm just going to add some more fabric tack right across here. Now I didn't do anything to the back side of this one. That was intentional. And just home. All right, so now I have these tea bag tags, I'm calling them, and they're strings, which when I soaked my tea bags, to get them to brew, um, I just left them all together. And then once I pulled them out and squeezed out the excess tea, I pulled the tag and kept that. So now the tiny attacher is really nice if you can get one or something similar. Now, Jacqueline had an off-brand. She was not happy with the way it worked. So sometimes it's worth a little extra, and sometimes you can find them marked down, places, or somebody has one they're getting rid of or whatever. But if you can get this, I would have recommended. It's easy to use, it's easy to reload, and you might say, well, why not just a regular stapler? Well, it's because this is little. This has the little staples that just makes this kind of work. It just works. Now, see, I didn't catch that correctly. I should have put it more. I'm going to scoot that under that staple. Had it in the middle. I should have had it more. See, it's just real little. It's not like a bigger staple. You can open, when you take out the original staple with the tea. Angie's asking a question. How do you get the tea out of the bag when it's dry? When you get the tea bag and you brew it, you bring it out of your water. See, it's all like this, and it's got the tag attached. And then there's a little tiny staple there. You squeeze out all the excess water, and then you let it dry. Then I lift up the two edges of the staple and pull that out. And then I open this, and it's like a tube, Ange. And I open the one end, get my fingernail in there if I can. And then I usually have a dish or a cup or something, and I just tilt it this way and give it a shake. And most of it comes out. And then if you want it really, really clean, see, like these were this way, then you just give this a little pull, and this back seam comes undone. And then you can open it up and you can really rub off that dry tea and get it out that way too. Or you could cut it. You could cut it if, depending on how you want to use it, you might want to cut it. Now, this one I'm going to glue down somewhere. I'm thinking I'm just going to glue the tag like this. A lot of times I'll just leave it swing free, or I showed you some samples. I might show you my samples again because there's more of you here. Do a little cutout and you can glue that on. But I think for this one, I'm just going to do that because I think it looks cute. Okay. You're welcome. So I'm going to add this. Now, let's see where I want to put this one. Oh, this, I saw somebody do this. They just took, I don't remember who it was. They took, pieces of paper the same size. This one I put a covered piece of chipboard on the front, and they just accordion folded it, and then they just glued it over top of itself. And then she just started journaling in it and doing stuff. This here, I think I need to put some washi tape on that fold. But just grab some paper that you like, and then you just, when you have things you want to stick down, just open it up and start sticking stuff in. All right, so let's find a place for this. That could be front and center, and could be a tuck spot. Let's do that. I'm going to use my hot glue. Now remember, we didn't decorate the back intentionally because I decided I was going to just glue this down. Okay, so that's one I did today. Then I did, let's see, did I put one in here? I think I put one in here. Yep. This one was the cluster we did on the tea bag, piece of tea bag, and made this a pocket. So that's an idea. All right. And then we put one in here. This one, I was waiting for the tiny attacher to arrive, which it now has. So I'm going to unclip that. Ooh. This we did two-sided. So I'm going to take a little tea bag. This I just glued because I couldn't find my tiny attacher. This I think I'm going to shorten the string and then attach something else down here. So that's better. And here I had, let's see if I can find this quickly. When I attach something to the, oh, look at there. Okay, now I just need, when I want to attach something to the string, something that I've punched out, you know, like a, you know, punch. I like to put two, you know, and glue them with the string in the center. So I'm going to punch out a heart, boop, and then a second little heart. And you could do, you know, a lot of us have postage stamps in our stash. You could use a little postage stamp, a little cutout, a little flat backs. You can use whatever. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I mean, it's a little fiddly, but hey, what isn't, right? When we do this kind of stuff, I'll make sure I get it in the center, because that's where my string is going to be. I'm looking for my heart and it's in my finger. And then you just want to let that dry and hopefully not stuck to your finger permanently. A little clip on there might be good. So just another idea. You don't have to do that. And you can remove this tag too and just use a string. You might want to put a couple little things like this on it, or charm. You could tie a charm on the end. All right. So I had this one in this book. Oh, I forgot what page. Doesn't really matter. Might look cute on that page. And then you can paper clip it. Tiny attach it, yes. I think I'd like to find a little bulldog clip to attach this. But for right now, it's going to go on like that. So that one we did. I didn't use my book stuff. The backs of my book, I didn't use this on anything. This stuff, I forgot. And then this is my not so everyday journal. And I put that one in here. Attached it with a brad, and then when I work on this page, I'll just cover that, with something. Oh, Peggy, really? Oh, how did you find out about that? That sounds wonderful. Oh, that is exciting. Tell them we send hugs and kisses. All right, so these are what I had done previously, months and months ago, just to show you some different things you can do. This one needs to be finished off. See, I don't have anything on the string. I just put my picture in there and glued it. Most of these are Christmas. Just got a button on this one, and you can see a little bit of Christmas paper. Like sometimes with Graphic 45 in particular, they give you little postage stamps, so something like that. Both sides. And you don't have to have the whole thing stamped out, just do whatever. A little stamp down the side there, figure 1, figure 2, just whatever you like. Using up some trim. This I drew, I believe, added some words. I think this is a piece of batting behind there that I did have some essential oil on that. I can't smell that anymore. You see, then I have little brads at the top. These are Jingle Bell brads. And here's another heart. Just add a little flat back. This one also had some essential oil, which I probably could add again because it's in there to absorb, plus it'll go right through the tea bag. Right? Little hearts that you just cut out, punched out. This I did by hand. This is a stamp. You can just do whatever. Rick rack, any little bits. Save those little bits. Have a little bit box. See, again, here on the string, you could do a ticket, a little Timmy ticket. Fold it in half. Just glue your string in between. Add whatever. You could use a napkin. Peggy's fits are out of control. Oh, we all have so much in common. But I think just the regular tea tag looks really quite well. Quite yummy. Now this, I just tied a little piece of muslin, button on the bottom, made a little string bow. There's my little always stamp. Just remember, if you're doing this and you want to use a brad, put your brad in before you close up your napkin. Your tea bag, your napkin. Oh, yeah. This is just a ticket in there. So you don't have to have anything fancy. You could print off stuff, or you can cut it out of scrapbook paper, stamp it on a piece of cardstock, or say like a file folder, trim it down, stick it in, glue it on, little postage stamp there, some rickrack. Just add a word. You could write a word on. That would look cool too, for sure. This is a sticker, just a butterfly. I folded in half around the string. There's a stamp, any little bits you like. So that's it. I'm going to skedaddle. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope the replayers will enjoy it. Thanks for joining me. I just enjoy doing this kind of stuff so much. I still have this one I can work on. And You can add them to anything. You could add it to a greeting card, right? I mean, tag, you could add them to a tag, you know. There you go, Patty. That's a great idea. Boil up those old, yeah, and save that tea because you might want to brush that on some paper or something, and give a little color. So you don't have to throw that either. Just keep it in your fridge, you know. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you could be here, Ange. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, gals, okay? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it so very much. Laura, I'll be in touch and we'll get some more details to see if we can have this meetup work out. All right. Thank you, Peggy. All right. So thanks for being here again. I appreciate you all so very much. And don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. Until I see you next time, remember, no stream for me on Sunday. We're going to be on a little vacation. I might pop on while I'm there to just have a little live thing happening, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But for now, I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.